has already begun to slow. 4 quiet places are waiting in a single line. Nothing will rush you from one to the next. The hours can blur without effort. This is one long stretch of calm. The spaces will change, but the pace will not. And the night will keep carrying you forward. Tonight the hallway lights are dimmed. The carpet holds the day's last warmth. A door at the end of the corridor stands slightly open. Soft light spills across the tiles. The rest of the building is already asleep. Water moves somewhere inside the walls. No voices travel this late. Inside the laundry room, the air is warm and steady. 2 machines run side by side, their round windows glowing faintly. Clothes turn in slow circles behind thick glass. A basket rests on the plastic chair near the wall. Socks folded together. A sweater placed neatly on top. The dryers hum without strain. Their rhythm does not change. A hand presses lightly against the warm surface of the machine. Heat spreads through the palm, constant and even. The metal vibrates with a small, reassuring pulse. There is nothing urgent here, only rotation, only fabric rising and falling in the same quiet pattern. A faint scent of detergent lingers in the air. Clean cotton. Warm air passing through lint screens. The fluorescent light above flickers once, then steadies. It casts a pale reflection onto the tiled floor. The grout lines form calm, straight paths beneath unmoving feet. One machine slows. The turning becomes heavier, then lighter, then still. The click at the end of the cycle is soft and contained. The door opens with a muted seal of rubber against metal. Warm air escapes in a gentle breath. Steam dissolves almost immediately into the room. A towel is lifted out first, still warm, folded in half, then again. Shirts follow, each one shaken once to loosen the last curl of heat, placed carefully into the waiting basket. The empty drum remains open for a moment. Its round interior reflects the overhead light in a dull silver circle. Then the door closes again with quiet certainty. The second machine continues. Clothes drift upward, then slide down the back wall of the drum. The same movement repeats. Nothing interrupts the rhythm. Outside the room, the hallway remains still. Elevators do not move. Apartment doors stay closed behind soft locks. Another hand rests on the basket's edge. Fingers trace the woven plastic rim without purpose. The warmth from the folded laundry seeps slowly outward. The hum fills the small room evenly. It presses gently against the ears without demanding attention. A steady, mechanical lull. The final machine slows. Its rotation becomes wider between turns. Longer pauses. A softer vibration through the floor. Then silence. The room holds the quiet carefully, as if not to disturb it. The door opens again, Warm air brushes against cooler skin. A final shirt is lifted, smoothed once, folded along invisible lines. The lint screen is pulled out and cleaned, a thin layer removed in one slow motion. The screen slides back into place. Lights remain on for a moment longer. The basket is lifted with both hands. Its weight is balanced and predictable. Nothing shifts inside. The door to the hallway opens with a quiet hinge. Warm air meets cooler corridor air and fades. Inside the laundry room, the machines stand empty. Their round windows reflect only the ceiling light now. The switch is pressed. The fluorescent glow disappears. Darkness settles across the tiles. The air cools gradually without the hum. Behind closed apartment doors, sleep continues undisturbed. Beneath the building, pipes carry water in slow, unseen currents. The laundry room rests again, waiting for the next small cycle to begin. The hallway receives the quiet without comment. Carpet softens each step into something almost unnoticeable. The basket is carried close, balanced against steady breathing. Doors line the corridor in identical intervals, each one holding its own sealed stillness. A ceiling vent releases a faint current of air. It moves gently across the crown molding and disappears. Nothing else shifts. The elevator at the corner remains dark. Its indicator light does not glow at this hour. Stairs are chosen instead. The stairwell light hums in a softer tone than the laundry room did. Concrete walls hold a cool scent of dust and paint. Footsteps descend one level, then another, without echo. There is no hurry in the movement, only the quiet knowledge of returning. A landing window reveals a slice of night sky between buildings. One cloud drifts slowly past the edge of the frame. Its movement is almost too slow to measure. The basket shifts slightly as the grip adjusts. Fabric brushes against fabric inside. Nothing falls out of place. On the lower floor, a distant refrigerator motor begins and then settles into a low vibration behind a closed door. It blends with the building's hidden systems. Pipes expand and contract with small internal clicks. The stairwell door opens into another stretch of corridor. This one is darker. Only a faint emergency light marks the exit at the far end. Keys are taken from a pocket without sound. Metal rests against metal in a careful arrangement. The correct one is chosen on the first try. The lock turns once. Inside, the apartment air is cooler than the hallway. It carries the faint trace of evening tea and clean surfaces. Shoes pause on the threshold before stepping fully in. The door closes softly behind. The basket is set down on a wooden table near the entry. The surface holds a dull reflection of the overhead light. A small clock on the wall continues its quiet counting. There is no television glow, no phone lighting the room, only the steady presence of night. The folded towel is lifted first, placed in a linen cupboard already arranged in calm stacks. Edges align without correction. Shirts follow, hung on thin wooden hangers, each one eased into place along the rail without sliding the others. A drawer opens for smaller pieces. Cotton meets cotton in neat layers. The drawer closes with controlled pressure, stopping just before a click. The apartment listens without reacting. In the kitchen corner, a glass sits beside the sink. Water runs briefly, then stops. The tap tightens until the last drop is certain not to fall. A curtain shifts slightly as outside air moves along the building's facade. It settles again against the window pane. Streetlight outlines its lower edge in pale gold. The table near the entrance is cleared. The basket returned to its usual place beneath it. Nothing remains out of order. There is comfort in this repetition. Comfort in knowing where each object rests. Comfort in finishing what was started earlier in the night. Lights dim one by one. The kitchen darkens first, then the hallway within the apartment. Only a bedside lamp remains for a short moment longer. Fabric slides across fabric as curtains are drawn fully closed. The room grows softer without the outline of the street beyond. Air remains still. The final lamp is switched off. Darkness fills the apartment evenly, not heavy, not empty. The building continues its low internal murmur. Pipes, vents, distant unseen systems doing their small work. Beneath the floors, the laundry room rests in complete silence now. Machines cooled, drums empty. Above, apartments remain wrapped in steady sleep. No footsteps cross the corridors. No doors open. Inside the quiet apartment, sheets shift once as someone settles beneath them. The mattress adjusts gently. Breathing finds a slower rhythm. Nothing more needs to be done tonight. The building holds its shape against the dark sky. Streetlights continue their patient glow. And somewhere below, the next cycle waits for another quiet hour to begin. The room settles deeper into stillness. Shadows rest along the walls without moving. The ceiling holds the faint outline of darkness where light once was. Air drifts slowly across the bed and disappears. Breathing evens out, not counted, not measured, just steady. Outside, a car passes once along the distant street. Its sound fades before it fully forms. The night folds back into itself. Pipes cool within the walls. Metal contracts with a soft internal click. Then even that becomes rare. Curtains remain closed. Fabric no longer shifts. The window holds back the quiet city glow. On the bedside table, nothing lights up. No screen interrupts interrupts the dark. The clock continues without announcing its progress. The building hum grows softer, or perhaps the ear simply stops noticing. Floors remain undisturbed. Doors stay sealed behind gentle locks. Under the blankets, warmth gathers evenly. Muscles release their final tension from the day. There is no movement now beyond the small rise and fall of breath. The hallway outside is empty. The stairwell light continues its patient watch. The laundry room below waits in complete silence. Night holds everything in the same calm position. Nothing needs to change. Nothing needs to begin again just yet. The quiet remains unbroken. The cargo deck rests deep within the hull. Steel walls hold their cool shape. Overhead lights remain steady. Nothing here prepares to move. The ship does not feel asleep. It feels paused, like weight suspended between tide and harbor. Rows of secured containers stretch into shadow. Their surfaces remain unmarked. No straps loosen. Everything stays locked in place. The floor is ribbed metal. Lines run straight and parallel. No footsteps cross them. The surface feels solid, balanced by its own weight. A faint vibration lingers in the steel, not from engines, from memory of movement. Then it settles again, barely noticeable. Time begins to loosen here. Minutes stop forming sequence. They rest quietly against the walls. Nothing presses forward. Air circulates slowly between containers. Not enough to cool, not enough to shift sound. The temperature remains even, uninterested in the hour. Along one side, a narrow ladder rises upward. Its rungs stay untouched. No shadow climbs them. The vertical path remains unused. Light reflects faintly off painted surfaces. Edges soften. Corners blur gently. Nothing sharpens into focus. Above, the deck plates remain still. No crew crosses overhead. No footsteps echo down. The ship holds its weight quietly. A cable runs along the wall, secured at measured intervals. No tension pulls against it. It remains exactly where it was set. Time spreads wider. Moments sit beside one another. No direction forms. The pause feels sufficient. The containers do not shift. Their locks remain sealed. Nothing adjusts. The cargo feels complete in stillness. Somewhere beyond the hull, water moves. Unseen, unheard. The ship does not respond. Metal absorbs every small sound. Even silence feels softened. Nothing travels far. The space feels contained, insulated from change. Light continues without flicker. The glow remains neutral. No shadow grows deeper than another. Everything feels balanced. Time loosens further. Minutes lose their edges. Presence replaces progression. The night feels suspended inside the steel. The ladder remains unused. The containers remain aligned. The floor remains cool. Each element holds its place. No signal announces departure. No horn sounds. No engine turns. The anchored ship remains at rest. The cargo deck does not anticipate motion. It does not prepare for unloading. It simply remains neutral, reliable. Air continues its slow passage. Light continues to glow. Steel continues to hold. Nothing presses forward. Above, the harbor stays quiet. Below, the hull stays firm. Inside, the deck remains still, each layer balanced against the other. There is no sense of ending here, no final inspection, no closing signal. The space feels complete as it is. The cargo deck remains inside the anchored ship. The water remains outside. The night remains wide and calm. Everything stays aligned, orderly and undisturbed through the long, steady hours before morning. The deck remains unchanged within the hull. No strap shifts, no latch clicks. The balance holds without effort. Steel walls keep their cool tone. Painted markings stay visible. Nothing fades under the lights. The structure feels fixed and grounded. Between the containers, narrow aisles stretch forward. Shadows settle at their edges. No movement crosses them. The alignment feels precise, unchallenged. A faint resonance lingers in the metal, not growing, not fading. It blends into stillness, then disappears. Time loosens again. Moments stop lining up. They rest quietly beside one another. No sequence matters here. The ladder remains vertical and unused. Its surface stays dry. No hand grips the rail. The path upward waits without expectation. Air moves slowly through the rows. It does not stir loose dust. It does not shift temperature. The atmosphere remains even. Locks on the containers stay sealed. Numbers remain clear. Nothing requests inspection. The cargo feels complete in silence. Somewhere beyond the steel, water moves along the hull. The deck does not answer. The ship does not respond. The separation remains firm. Light continues its steady presence. No flicker interrupts it. No brightness changes. The glow feels neutral and constant. Time spreads wider once more. Minutes lose their weight. Nothing urges them forward. The pause feels sufficient. The floor remains ribbed and cool. No sound echoes across it. No footprint marks its length. The surface stays untouched. Above, deck plates hold their position. No crew crosses them. No vibration reaches below. The upper levels remain distant. The cable along the wall stays secured. Its path remains straight. No tension pulls against it. Everything feels anchored. The cargo deck does not anticipate unloading. It does not prepare for departure. It simply remains available, steady, contained. Air continues to circulate. Light continues to glow. Steel continues to hold. Each element stays aligned. No horn sounds in the harbor. No rope tightens against the dock. Nothing signals a change. The anchored ship remains at rest. Time loses more of its edges. Moments flatten. Presence replaces progression. The night feels sealed within the hull. Containers remain still. Aisles remain empty. The ladder remains untouched. Nothing shifts its place. The cargo deck stays inside the quiet ship. Water stays beyond the steel. The harbor stays calm. Everything continues in balance, undisturbed and steady, as the silent hours pass unnoticed. The deck holds its quiet weight inside the hull. No chain tightens. No latch releases. The arrangement remains exact. Between the containers, air stays cool. It does not gather. It does not thin. It simply rests in the narrow aisles. Light settles along the steel ribs of the floor. Lines repeat beneath each row. Nothing disturbs their pattern. The symmetry feels complete. A faint shift moves through the hall, not from motion, from water leaning gently against metal. Then it fades, leaving the steel unchanged. Time loosens once more. Moments stop aligning. They rest side by side, unrelated. No direction forms. The ladder remains fixed in shadow. Its outline stays sharp. No hand finds the rail. The path upward remains unused. Numbers printed on the containers stay clear. Paint holds steady. No surface peels or cracks. The cargo feels settled into permanence. Somewhere above, the harbor breathes quietly. Ropes hold their lines. Water brushes the dock. None of it reaches this level. The cable along the wall remains straight. Its clips hold firm. No vibration travels through it. Everything feels anchored. Light continues without variation. No glare, no dimming. The glow feels measured and neutral. Time spreads again across the deck. Minutes lose their edges. Nothing presses forward. The pause feels complete. Steel absorbs the smallest sound. Even silence feels softened. Nothing echoes. The space remains insulated from change. The containers remain sealed. Their corners stay aligned. No shift suggests movement. The cargo rests without demand. Air continues its quiet passage. Light continues to rest. Metal continues to hold, each element balanced against the other. No horn sounds above, no engine turns, no order is given. The anchored ship remains patient. Time loosens further still. Moments feel equal. Presence replaces sequence. The night settles deeper within the hull. The aisles remain clear. The ladder remains vertical. The floor remains cool. Nothing alters its position. The cargo deck stays quiet. Water stays outside the steel. The harbor stays distant. Everything continues aligned, contained, and undisturbed, as the long night holds steady around the anchored ship. The watchtower stands above the quarry long after the machines have stopped. Floodlights remain on along the rim. Dust has settled across the cut stone. Nothing here prepares to move. The height does not demand attention. The words can remain distant, like wind crossing open ground without altering it. The quarry floor stretches wide below. Terraced walls descend in steady layers. Tire marks remain pressed into gravel. No vehicle crosses them. No engine turns. From the tower, railings frame the view. Metal bars remain cool. No hand grips them. The structure feels firm, unchallenged by silence. Lights along the quarry edge glow evenly, some brighter, some faint, all steady. Their beams do not sweep, they hold. A faint breeze moves through the tower. It does not shift dust. It does not carry sound. The air feels thin and calm. Time begins to loosen here. Minutes do not mark themselves. The height replaces the clock. Nothing presses forward. Below, pools of rainwater rest in shallow depressions. Their surfaces reflect pale light. No ripple completes itself. The water feels contained. The quarry walls rise in pale stone bands. Sharp edges, clean cuts. No shadow climbs them. Everything feels fixed in place. Inside the watchtower, a chair rests near the window. Its legs remain aligned. No one sits in it. The room feels prepared, but unused. A small radio lies silent on the desk. No signal breaks through. No static hums. It remains part of the space, without purpose tonight. Time spreads wider. Moments sit beside one another. No sequence forms. The pause feels sufficient. Gravel below absorbs every sound. Even silence feels softened. Nothing echoes up the walls. The depth feels insulated. The floodlights continue their steady glow. They do not dim. They do not brighten. Their presence feels neutral, unquestioned. A faint faint shift of air brushes past the tower, then settles. No movement follows. The night remains intact. No gate opens at the quarry entrance. No truck appears at the rim. No light approaches from the road. The boundary holds firm. The watchtower does not anticipate dawn. It does not prepare to close. It simply remains, steady, contained. Stone terraces descend in quiet order. One level, then another, then another. The repetition feels calming, predictable. Time loosens further. Minutes lose weight. Presence replaces progression. The night feels wide and still. The radio remains silent. The chair remains empty. The railings remain cool. Each element holds its place. No signal announces change. No machinery restarts. Nothing resolves. The scene feels complete as it is. The watchtower remains over the quarry. The quarry remains carved into stone. The night remains calm. Everything stays aligned, orderly and undisturbed through the long hours before morning. The tower continues to overlook the quarry without change. No shadow shifts across the terraces. No sound rises from the gravel. The height holds its quiet position. Below, the carved walls remain pale and still. Edges stay sharp against the dark. No dust lifts from the ground. The stone feels settled, finished for the night. Lights around the rim keep their steady glow. They do not sweep. They do not fade. Their beams rest where they fall. Inside the tower, the empty chair remains near the glass. Its outline does not move. Its legs stay aligned with the floor. The room feels balanced and contained. The radio on the desk stays silent. No signal breaks through. No voice travels upward. It remains part of the stillness. Time loosens again at this height. Moments do not follow one another. They rest evenly across the open space. No direction forms. A faint draft brushes along the railings. Not enough to rattle them. Not enough to carry sound. Then it fades completely. Below, shallow pools reflect the floodlights. The surface holds the glow briefly, then releases it back to shadow. Nothing disturbs the water. The terraces descend in quiet order. Level after level, stone after stone. The repetition feels steady, unchanged. No gate opens at the quarry entrance. No vehicle approaches. No new light appears beyond the rim. The boundary remains firm. The tower does not anticipate morning. It does not prepare to descend. It simply remains upright, steady, reliable. Time spreads wider once more. Minutes lose their edges. Presence replaces movement. The pause feels complete. The railings stay cool. The chair stays empty. the radio stays silent, each element holding its place. Below, gravel absorbs every small sound. Even silence feels softened. Nothing echoes back. The depth remains insulated. The watchtower continues to stand above the quarry. The quarry continues to rest in stone. The night continues to hold both. Everything remains aligned, quiet and undisturbed, as the long, dark hours carry on. The tower remains steady against the open sky. No light changes its tone. No shadow lengthens. The height keeps its quiet balance. Below, the quarry floor stays untouched. Tire marks remain pressed into gravel. No new line crosses them. The surface feels settled and complete. Floodlights continue to rest along the rim. Their beams do not wander. They hold the edges in soft definition. Nothing flickers. Inside the tower, the glass reflects faint light. Edges blur gently, then settle again. Nothing sharpens into focus. Time loosens further at this elevation. Moments stop forming sequence. They rest side by side. No direction presses forward. A small shift of air passes once across the railing. It does not cool the metal. It does not carry sound. Then it disappears. Below, the terraces remain pale in the glow. Layer upon layer, cut and left as they are. No shadow climbs them. No movement crosses the levels. The empty chair remains by the window, its outline unchanged, its position steady. The room feels anchored to the height. The radio on the desk remains silent. No signal forms. No static rises. It holds its quiet place. Time spreads evenly again. Minutes lose their weight. Presence replaces progression. The stillness deepens. No gate opens at the quarry entrance. No vehicle approaches from the road. No beam turns toward the rim. The boundary remains undisturbed. Gravel absorbs every faint sound. Even silence feels muted. Nothing echoes up the stone walls. The depth holds everything in place. The tower does not prepare to descend. It does not anticipate morning. It simply stands, balanced, contained. Floodlights continue. Stone continues. Air continues. Each element holding its role without demand. There is no signal of change, no ending forming, no beginning appearing. The scene holds its shape. The watchtower remains over the quarry. The quarry remains carved into still stone. The night remains wide and calm. Everything stays aligned, quiet and undisturbed, as the long, dark stretch continues. The height remains steady as the night deepens. No new light appears along the rim. No shadow grows beyond its place. The quarry keeps its carved silence. The floodlights continue their quiet glow. Edges stay soft against the stone. Nothing brightens, nothing fades. silence feels complete. Below, the gravel floor rests without change. Terraces hold their layered lines. No dust rises. No sound travels upward. The depth feels insulated from movement. Inside the tower, glass reflects only faint light. The empty chair remains near the window. The radio stays silent on the desk. Each object holds its position without effort. Time no longer feels divided. Moments settle beside one another. They do not lead anywhere. The pause feels sufficient. A light breeze brushes the railing once more. Not enough to stir the air. Not enough to carry a sound. Then it is gone. The tower does not anticipate dawn. It does not prepare to close. It simply remains upright and still, reliable, contained. The quarry remains carved into quiet stone. The floodlights remain steady. The night remains wide. Everything holds its place, aligned and undisturbed, as the final silent hours continue without change. The dry dock rests open to the night sky. Tower cranes stand frozen above the basin. Work lights remain fixed along the edges. Nothing here prepares to lift. The water has been drained away. Steel ribs of the hull are exposed. The air carries only stillness across the empty dock. A cargo ship stands supported by blocks. Its weight settles evenly on the floor. No chain tightens. No engine turns. The vessel feels suspended, held between journeys. Metal scaffolding frames one side of the hull. Platforms remain untouched. No tool rests out of place. Everything waits without waiting. Floodlights cast pale bands across steel. Painted numbers stay visible. Shadows fall straight and unmoving. Nothing flickers. Time begins to loosen within the dock. Minutes stop marking progress. The open basin replaces the clock. Nothing presses forward. Below the hull, the concrete floor stretches wide. Drain channels remain dry. No water gathers in them. The surface feels firm and complete. Along the rim, ladders descend into the basin. Their rungs stay cool. No footsteps echo down. The vertical paths remain unused. Cables hang along the crane arms above. Secured in place, no tension pulls through them. The machines feel dormant, balanced against the sky. A faint breeze crosses the dock. It does not move dust. It does not rattle metal. Then it disappears. Time spreads wider. Moments sit side by side. No sequence forms. The pause feels sufficient. The hull's steel plates show lines of weld. Each seam remains solid. No vibration travels through them. The structure feels anchored. Lights continue to glow around the basin. They do not dim. They do not brighten. Their presence feels neutral and steady. No signal announces a return to work. No horn sounds from the harbor. No crew approaches the gate. The boundary holds firm. Above, the cranes remain extended over empty air. Hooks hang motionless. Chains stay straight. Nothing lowers. Nothing lifts. The dock does not anticipate water returning. It does not prepare for launch. It simply remains, steady, contained. Air settles between hull and floor. Sound does not travel far. Even silence feels softened. The space feels insulated from change. Time loosens further still. Minutes lose their edges. Presence replaces progression. The night feels suspended inside steel. The ship remains supported by blocks. The cranes remain fixed against the sky. The basin remains dry, each element holding its place. No door opens at the yard entrance. No light turns toward the dock. Nothing signals movement. The scene feels complete as it is. The dry dock remains open beneath silent cranes. The hull remains resting in its frame. The night remains wide and calm. Everything stays aligned, orderly and undisturbed through the long hours before morning. The basin continues to hold its quiet shape. No chain shifts against metal. No cable tightens. The balance remains exact. The hull stands above the concrete floor. Steel plates reflect faint light. Weld lines remain straight. Nothing vibrates through them. Along the rim, floodlights stay steady. Their glow does not wander. Shadows rest where they fell. The edges feel measured and calm. The crane arms remain extended into the sky. Hooks hang in open air. No weight pulls them down. They hold their position without strain. Time loosens again inside the dock. Moments stop lining up. They rest side by side. No direction presses forward. Air drifts once across the basin. It does not stir dust. It does not cool the steel. Then it settles completely. Scaffolding along the hull stays untouched. Platforms remain empty. No tool shifts on the railing. The structure feels prepared, but unused. Drain channels cut through the floor. They remain dry. No echo travels through them. The surface absorbs every sound. Above, the night sky remains clear. No light sweeps across the cranes. No aircraft passes overhead. The height stays undisturbed. Time spreads evenly once more. Minutes lose their weight. Nothing urges the space toward change. The pause feels sufficient. The ship rests on its supports. The cranes rest against the sky. The basin rests in still air. Each element aligned without effort. No signal forms at the yard gate. No vehicle approaches the rim. No movement breaks the boundary. Everything remains contained. Steel, concrete, and light continue together. No brightness shifts. No structure bends. The dock feels anchored in silence. Time loses more of its edges. Moments flatten. Presence replaces progression. The night deepens within the basin. The hull remains elevated. The hooks remain suspended. The floor remains dry. Nothing alters its place. The dry dock continues beneath silent cranes. The harbor remains distant beyond the walls. The night remains wide and calm. Everything holds steady, undisturbed and balanced, as the long dark hours pass unnoticed. The dock continues to hold its open stillness. No hook lowers from the cranes. No signal flashes along the rim. The arrangement remains exact. The hull stands unchanged above the floor. Steel plates keep their faint sheen. Weld seams stay visible in straight lines. Nothing hums beneath them. Light continues to rest across the basin. It does not sweep. It does not narrow. Its glow feels measured and calm. The concrete floor remains dry and firm. No mark appears. No echo returns. The surface absorbs everything. Time loosens again within the open space. Moments do not follow one another. They settle quietly beside the hull. No direction forms. A soft draft moves once along the scaffolding. It does not shift a platform. It does not rattle a rail. Then it fades without trace. The crane arms remain extended into the dark sky. Chains hang straight. Hooks stay motionless in the air. Nothing lifts. Nothing lowers. Above the dock walls, the harbor stays distant. No horn sounds. No wake reaches the basin. The separation remains intact. Time spreads evenly once more. Minutes lose their edges. Nothing presses the space toward change. The pause feels sufficient. The ship rests on its supports. The cranes rest against the sky. The lights rest along the rim, each element holding its place without demand. No gate opens at the yard entrance. No truck crosses the concrete. No new beam appears in the dark. The boundary stays firm. Steel, concrete, and air remain balanced. No vibration travels through them. No brightness shifts. The dock feels insulated from motion. Time loses more of its shape. Moments flatten. Presence replaces progression. The night settles deeper into the basin. The hull remains elevated. The floor remains dry. The cranes remain silent. Nothing alters its alignment. The dry dock continues beneath the open sky. The harbor continues beyond the walls. The night continues without change. Everything remains steady, contained, and undisturbed as the quiet hours stretch on. The basin remains open, beneath the silent cranes. No chain moves against steel. No light shifts along the rim. The structure keeps its quiet balance. The hull stands supported and still. Its shadow rests evenly on the floor. No vibration rises through the blocks. The weight feels settled and complete. Floodlights continue their steady glow. They do not dim. They do not flare. Their presence feels neutral, unchanged by time. Above, the crane arms hold their shape against the sky. Hooks hang in open air. Nothing lowers, nothing lifts. The height remains undisturbed. Time no longer feels divided. Moments settle beside one another. They do not lead anywhere. The pause feels sufficient. A faint breath of air crosses the basin once more. It does not stir dust. It does not echo. Then it disappears completely. The concrete floor remains dry and firm. Drain channels stay empty. No sound travels through them. Everything feels anchored. The dock does not anticipate water returning. It does not prepare for motion. It simply remains, steady, contained. The ship rests above the basin. The cranes rest against the night. The lights rest along the rim. Each element aligned and balanced, quiet and undisturbed, as the final silent stretch continues without change.